Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a client's love reading. Love readings are just large readings that we tap into all areas of a relationship. We could look at a certain person that you're interested in, or answering questions about your single life. I mean, the love reading is just, you could do so much with it. So my particular client has a 3-part question, and they are in the process. They're going to be meeting someone that they've been seeing, that they've been talking to, who's long distance. And so my client wants to know, is this person trustworthy? Can they, is this person worth their time? And then also they just want to see what area, where this person is at in their personal life. And then the relationship. We're going to look at the relationship as, is there going to be love? I'm going to spray my space. Is there love on the horizon? What is the relationship going to look like? Basically like that. So we're just going to kind of dissect this potential, this pending relationship. So please note, my client has not yet met this person in person, like face to face. It is more of a long distance relationship right now, but they do have a plan to meet. And so my client is just curious to see what to look out for, what to watch out for, and that thing. So the decks that I chose to work for you, I pulled, and I know I've been wanting to stay away from the Rider-Waite, but I was feeling really called to just go back to basics. So this is the Rider-Waite Smith deck, and then I have the Psychic Tarot for the Heart, which is my go-to, one of my go-tos for love. So I pulled that one out, of course. I also pulled the Oracle of Oddities out, just in case I feel like I need another Oracle deck to go along with what we have here. And then, of course, on the table, I have a bunch of Labradorites. Labradorites I have been really obsessing over lately. This one in particular I have had with me on a daily for the last couple weeks. So really feeling called to Labradorite. I have some rose quartz on the table for you because rose quartz is good for love. And I have an ametrine, which is an amethyst / citrine crystal here. It's a heart shape for love. And of course, a clear quartz wand, because I always got to have a clear quartz. It enhances everything else that the crystals are doing. So we have one of those. I actually put this deck in order the last time I was messing with it. So it's going to be a fresh, a nice fresh shuffle. So what we're going to do is I'm going to shuffle cards. I'm not working with a spread. I'm just going to simply tap into the reading. Just going to start pulling cards. And we'll just go right into it. So we're looking at those. She had those 3 questions. Is this person trustworthy? Where they're at, and then also the nature of the nature of the relationship, the pending relationship. Is this going to go somewhere? That sort of thing. And basically my client is just, they want to know. They want to know, is this person worth their time, and is there going to be love out of this? Like, is this going to be growing into something more in the future, or is this just going to be a quick little, they meet and then that's the end of it? So we will see. I want to make sure I give these guys a good shuffle, because I had them in order for since the last time I used them, which was, I think I was messing with them a week ago or so. One more shuffle. Okay, so set you aside. Okay. So I want to tap into his energy first. Now I don't condone third party readings, which is which is a term about reading about someone else when they don't know they're being read for. So I'm not going to go into complete detail about his life. I mean, obviously that's none of our business, unless he's okay with it. So what I'm going to do is just pull on his current energy right now concerning love, concerning, his stance on love and this particular relationship between you and him, because I don't want to probe into anything else. If I see anything else that is, that pops up in the cards, of course, I'm not going to say it, because of the sake that, I don't condone third-party readings. So let's get into it. So let's just pull cards. So we have flow, third eye chakra, believe and succeed, and then we have shine. So we're talking about him right now, okay? Queen of Pentacles. We have the Four of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Wands. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we're here with him, for him, with what I'm seeing in terms of love. He has a lot of, he's not very sure, and he's not very confident when it comes to making his own decisions regarding love. So I guess I want to say he's not very intuitive in that aspect. He's not very good at seeing the red flags. He's not very good at, understanding, if he's being the person that is, being problematic in a relationship. And so I want to just say that with him, you may have already noticed this because you've been talking to him, that with him, if you are in a relationship with him, it might be a little bit frustrating more for you because you are more intuitive, that he doesn't see these. It's like you have to explain it to him and tell him rather than assume that he will know and find out on his own, if that makes any sense. So he's not as intuitively in touch with relationship as you would be, because you are a natural intuitive. And I know that because I've read for you before. And so that would be a little bit problematic, I could see, because it is frustrating when you have a friend or a lover who just doesn't get it, and you feel like you constantly have to bring up you don't always want to be the person that has to bring up the crap, but if that other person doesn't understand, or they're not seeing it, or they're just like blind to it, that could get a little frustrating. So right off the bat, that's what I'm sensing about him. The other thing that I'm sensing about him is that he does have hope, okay? He does have hope for finding true love. He wants to find it. And that there was, a case in the past where he thought he did. So that could be another reason why a previous relationship, and I won't tap into that because it's none of our business, but a previous relationship that didn't work out, it was a kind of a blow to his ego, okay? So what I'm saying is that now in the present, like with you and him, he's a little bit more cautious, and I don't know if it's like he fails to see the truth. I want to make sure this is in focus so you guys could see. I don't know if he fails to see he fails to see what's in front of him, or he fails to dive in, into love full force, 2 feet forward, because of the past. Okay, so what I'm seeing with the past is that we got the shine card with the 5 of Wands, and so I'm seeing that as like it took out a lot of his shine, or it was a blow to his ego in the past. And then the 5 of Wands was problematic. There was a lot of arguing, and this kind of, it just didn't work out. So, that could be more of he's more cautious around his heart. Maybe he doesn't believe in himself 100%, that, that love can be successful because of what took place prior. The reason why I said he's not very intuitive is because the third eye chakra came up below him. Okay, and then I also see with the Four of Swords, to me that's just shows that he's he either overthinks things, okay? He overthinks it, but he's not trusting his general intuition, or he needs to slow down and tap in, because I could see that too with the Four of Swords with the third eye chakra, is like his need to slow down and really tune into himself before making a decision or before taking an action. So he's very impulsive at times, and then at times he's also very, very cautious, which is, you know, he'll delay things. So kind of like two ends of the spectrum here. What is above him, or you know who he is the flow. So like I said, he's looking for a new, you know, a new cycle. He's looking for movement. He is moving forward. He wants that, you know. And the Queen of Pentacles is definitely, it's like his desire for a mate who is going to be very nurturing. He needs someone who's going to ground him. He needs someone who's going to take care of him, like that kind of thing. Like that's the Queen of Pentacles nature, is definitely like the what he's looking for, what he needs in a mate. Okay. Also the the topic of children, you know, if that is a possibility, because I also associate Queen of Pentacles with children or pregnancy. So perhaps, you know, that's also something on his horizon. That is something he would like. But if it's not, you know, we'll disregard that. I just wanted to throw that out there just in case. But definitely a Queen of Pentacles energy is, for a mate, is what he's looking for. Someone who's more grounding, someone who would be more nurturing and taking care of his needs and him, you know, this way. And as well as he would do the same for that person. But, he needs a woman who's going to be more grounding to him, because he needs someone who's just going to bring him, back to center, which is why I feel like, he's kind of all over the place right now. We have believe and succeed. So in his future, he's hopeful. Okay. Not much telling there, but I do see with the Two of Pentacles, in the future, there will be a decision he will have to make. I feel like he's going to hit a point, a crossroads, especially because the two of you are long distance, and he travels for work, like you mentioned. I feel like that's going to be a factor in this relationship. Okay. This is something that will happen eventually. It's going to happen in the future, but I feel like he's going to be really wanting to weigh out his options. Is this a relationship worth my decision to relocate? Okay. One of you is going to have to relocate. Is it going to be him, or is it going to be you, who's the breadwinner, who has, you know, whose job is much more suitable for establishing a future, that kind of thing. Those are the topics that you guys are going to be faced with later on, though. We're not going to worry about that right now. But just as long as you are aware, there will be a major decision on his end for him to decide upon. So that was his energy right now, where he's at. So is he ready to move forward into a relationship? Yes. He does. He's hopeful. He wants it. But I also feel the warning signs there, where he doesn't get it sometimes. Sometimes you have to, you know, spell it out for him, which can be a little bit annoying. But I feel once he's more confident in love, that his intuition will just become natural, and rather than him kind of going against it. So I feel like that's something that will evolve with time. But now we're going to look at the two of you together, okay? And this is going to kind of give you the idea of how you would be compatible right now. Is this love worth, you know, worth your time, that kind of thing. And then we'll look into the future once you guys meet up, okay? So I think that'll answer all of your questions that you had asked. So we'll just tap into that. So we're going to look in the present, like you right now, where, if you're compatible, are you compatible? You know, where's your love at right now? right. So your love right now, we have love crossed with the Six of Wands. So definitely, let's just dive right into that. Your love right now, you guys are definitely in that space. Okay, it is mutual. There is mutual attraction. There is a lot of potential, okay, for the love card to come forward. Obviously, it's a really good space for the two of you to be in, and I'm really like seeing how the heart is actually a leaf. There are two leaves, and it's green. To me, green is the sign of abundance, and leaf or earth is the sign of growth. So the two of you have potential, and there will be a lot of growth as far as matters of the heart go. And to be with the Six of Wands or crossed with the Six of Wands, usually crossing, I take it as a challenge or a block. It is a card of success, so I don't see any blocks except for your own fears of long distance, or I know you mentioned in your email, worrying about is he cheating, or could he potentially be cheating? How would I know, because you guys are long distance. It's all trust. It really is. It's all trust. And it's also the kind of intention that you're putting into this. If you are very positive about it and you're looking at the bright side on everything, you're putting positive energy towards a really good thing. So it's not always bad. It's not always bad. It's not always impossible when you are in a long distance relationship. They can work, okay? But you have to both be on the same page and both be working towards the same goal. That's the secret there. Okay, so let's see what we have to look forward to. I'm just going to stick with like that same 4-card spread like I've been doing. Because I feel like that's what's been helping. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing here is below the two of you, we have Heal and the Six of Cups. There's a lot of past crap that needs to be sifted out, okay, for the two of you. I'm not just saying it's not just one of you, it's the both of you. If this relationship is going to work and going to go beyond just being long distance online, this needs to heal. There needs to be some stuff from the past. You both have baggage. We all have baggage. We're all human. But our baggage can be left in the past. It doesn't always have to go forward with us. We shouldn't always be lugging around all this baggage, all this energy that no longer serves a purpose in our life. So what I'm seeing is with the Heal card and the Six of Cups is there is a past for both of you. Different relationships that you were in, forgiveness, perhaps letting go, dropping communication with exes, or old friends, whatever. All of that kind of stuff needs to kind of go away in order for you to make room for this new blooming relationship. I don't want to say that this person is jealous, but I do feel that there is a tendency where you guys will have little arguments about, why are you talking to so-and-so? Why are you looking at so-and-so's profile? Blah, 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 blah. Like those are going to be, I see that, I feel it. Those are going to be conversations that you guys are going to have. And to cut a lot of that drama out from the very beginning, it would be it would mean a lot to both of you to heal, to mend the wounds from the past and leave them be. Leave people in the past that no longer serve a purpose in your present life. So in the past, like we were just talking about, we have choose your battles. Again, choosing your battles is wise. It is saying, are you going to bring this topic up in a conversation? Are you going to pick at this person about this specific past situation or whatever? Choose your battles wisely. Like I said, this is the kind of arguments that I see you two having, is you pick at the past. So as long as you clean off the whole table from, so that you can't bring up stuff from his past and he can't bring it up from your past, that's going to help. But I do see that as a potential. And of course, with a 10 of Wands, it's showing a block. Okay. This relationship will not move forward if you are constantly picking at the past. So let that be a warning that this is something that majorly needs to change in order for the two of you to be able to move forward and to grow, okay? Now in the future, what I'm seeing is giving and receiving. There needs to be an equal trade of this, okay? The amount of time, love, energy that you are putting into the relationship needs to be reciprocated by him as well. It should not be a one-sided relationship. You mentioned that he travels for business and whatnot. If he's going to be traveling long distances, you need to have that trust with one another, because if you don't, that's going to kill you. That is going to drive you nuts. So you need to make sure that the two of you are really, both working at putting enough really good energy into your relationship so that when he does take off for business trips, you are confident to know that he's not going to mess around, that he's actually taking care of business and he's going to come home to you, and vice versa, because I do feel he can tend to be jealous. So I do feel like he may not show it all the time, but he will get jealous. There will be moments where he'll be jealous of certain things and you'll think it's silly, but then you got to kind of turn it around and look at it from his perspective. So it's an even giving and receiving energy exchange. There needs to be a really good balance between the two of you. And as long as there's a lot of trust and a lot of, you feel equal to one another, that will take away a lot of the worries when he does take off for business trips, because that's going to happen. That's part of his work. That's part of his lifestyle. And those are also things to think about before getting into, a serious relationship with him. Is this stuff that you can handle? Now, the Devil card came up next to it, which is why I'm giving you that warning, because the Devil card is temptation, okay? There is temptation. We are human beings, so don't disregard that fact. As a human being, we all have eyes and we all have tendencies to wander or be curious and whatnot, but it does happen. So to think that it will never happen to your person, you can't think that way. As long as you're aware that is a possibility, it takes a load off of you, okay? The second thing is, how does one react to those temptations, okay? He can look and he can be curious, but is he really going to dive into it? And that's where the strength of your relationship at the core is very important, because if you are strong together and there's a lot of love, romance, intimacy, all of that, and trust, the temptation won't be as delicious. You know what I mean? It won't be as difficult to say no to. But if your relationship is rocky, if it's hollow in the middle, there's no intimacy, you guys are always fighting, there's no trust, that temptation is going to look really good. So I'm just putting that out there to say it's giving and receiving. That's necessary. I feel like this is going to be a very big lesson for the two of you in the future to come. And, just be aware that temptation is there, but you are also human beings, So it would be silly to think that, oh, well, I would never look at someone else that way. You never know. Sometimes it happens. But it doesn't mean that we're going to always act on it. So there's a difference there. So what I see together for the two of you, as far as love goes, is there potential to be connected? Yes. Is there potential for love and growth? Yes. But it looks like there's a couple little things that you need to work on to strengthen. And I feel like that's the main message here for this spread, is that the two of you have stuff to work on to strengthen your bond. And that can happen now as you are long distance, but also something that you will want to work on as the two of you come together. So don't think that, am I saying that it's not going to work out? No. I'm just saying that there are a couple little loose ends that need to be tightened before this bond can really, take off on another level. And if you're ignoring it, then, you are asking for some issues later on. So just keep that in mind. And then finally, let's pull on The future. So let's talk about, when you guys meet up. Is there a future together? Is this a relationship that is going to last? That kind of thing. So let's look into that. And also keep in mind, because I have to say this as a disclaimer, future readings can change at a moment's notice, okay? So just because I pull right now, whatever I pull, doesn't mean that that's set in stone. Your future will change and can change at a decision, at an action that you take right now or tomorrow or whatever. So just because I pull what I pull right now doesn't mean that that's the only way. So just keep that in mind, because some people think that, oh, because the cards said this, that's the only way. No, the cards are just giving you an energetic viewpoint on what can take place, but it's not the, set in stone. Life changes, we mold, we grow. Nothing's set in stone. So just keep that in mind. Right. Oh, let's do this first. Okay. There's that Queen of Pentacles. 5 of Swords. 6 of Swords. King of Cups. Okay. So, for the overall energy of the future of you guys, I really like that the Queen of Pentacles came up, because she came up with the needs of him, what he's looking for in a mate, and obviously she's coming up again. So definitely you match everything that he needs. You have those qualities, okay? So let that be known. Also, the giving and receiving card came up again. He needs a mate that is going to work with him. He needs a mate that's going to be willing to be on his level, okay? Your guys' relationship, this is very, very important for the two of you. Giving and receiving. What you put into the relationship is what you take out, and vice versa. So make sure that that's huge. That has to be huge for the two of you. Is you got to both be putting in equal amounts of love, effort, intimacy, all of those things, because that's what's going to keep your relationship strong. Right below you, which is, I feel like below is what is a weak point, we have awaiting results. And awaiting results is really making me feel like once the two of you meet, you can't get enough of one another, okay? You're going to really love to see how you work together, how your energy is. It's going to be a lot of sexual energy. There's a lot of attraction. But awaiting results is also the waiting game, because eventually he's going to have to go back home, or you're going to have to go back home. And eventually you have to go back to reality. And if you really wanted to make this relationship work, like I said, you're going to have to come to that crossroads where one of you is going to have to make the decision to move. And awaiting results is, obviously with reality, that doesn't happen in the blink of an eye. It does take time. So I do feel like the weak point here with you guys in the future is going to be the waiting game. It's going to be, when am I going to see you again? When am I going to get to hold you and kiss you and love you? All of that. That's going to be the weak point in your relationship. So that is, it's nice to see that it's nothing really super major, but it's also something that's going to be probably the hardest, because obviously anyone who's been or is in a long distance relationship knows that it's hard to wait to see that person again. It's very hard. But again, if you have a bond, if you guys are both equally putting a lot of effort into this relationship, this won't be as hard, okay? And then we have, again, the 5 of Wands. So like I said, if your foundation is weak, okay? If your foundation is weak, you're not putting enough effort, both of you. There's no trust, that kind of thing. Your bond is not tight. Your roots are not strong in your foundation. The 5 of Wands is revealing there's going to be some problematic issues. There's going to be some conflicts. There's going to be arguing. one of you is going to be frustrated and you're going to say things or have a certain attitude to the other, and the other person isn't going to like it. I mean, it opens a can of worms for unnecessary arguing. So that's why these two go hand in hand. It is so important to be grounded, to be firm in your foundation together, to establish things, but also equal amounts of time, love, attention, intimacy going into your relationship from both ends. Okay. And then in the past, we have, or the past or what's behind you, we have the strengthening bonds. Again, that's why I'm saying it is very important for the two of you to strengthen your energy together, your bonds, your foundation. That it's, the cards are just showing like the same message over and over again. That's what's going to make it work. We also have the Six of Swords. So in the future coming up, it's going to be quick. I feel that the decision for someone to move is going to be put on the table right away because you guys are going to feel so connected, okay? So I see that the Six of Swords is indicating there will need to be movement. One of you is going to have to relocate if you really want this to work out. So the long distance thing can only last so long before you're going to want to be with that other person, okay? So think about that, because I feel like it's mostly going to be you, because it seems like he's very grounded in his work, unless his work allows him to relocate, easily, then that's different. But if not, it seems like it would come from your end mostly, and that's the vibe I'm getting, is you would be the one to pick up your stuff, your belongings, and move to him. So I do see that with the Six of Swords. And that could be actually a really good thing for you, because I feel the Six of Swords is also like moving away from stresses and stuff. So perhaps you've already outgrown your current living space and you're just ready for something different. So that could be the adventure that you need. So keep that in mind too. And then in the future, what I'm seeing here is rebuild. This is you rebuilding together, okay? Like I said, I feel he had a very rough past with a relationship, and it really was a blow to his ego, okay? So rebuild is telling me you're rebuilding from the heart, because look, has her arms crossed over her heart. So to me, it's you're rebuilding love, you're rebuilding trust, your bonds together, but also rebuilding hope in love, because like I said, I do feel his hope, his ego was blown from the last time. And so that's going to be more so on his end, to have trust that love will, love is possible. It does exist, and that, not everybody is going to do him wrong, or, you know what I mean? So I feel like rebuilding together is very important. Okay. And then we have King of Cups, which is also, King of Cups is like being completely sure, comfortable, positive about your, the way that you express your love and your emotions. You feel very good about where you are in love. You trust yourself. You know yourself inside and out. So to be an ultimate King of Cups, sometimes you have to go from a broken person to putting yourself back together. Okay, so I see that too. I also see the King of Cups as a symbol of what your love would look like, and it is mature. This is definitely a different type of relationship from what you've been in before. This is a relationship that does have potential to grow into more things, okay? So this isn't just some little fling. This has potential to be something a lot more serious. But the cards are kind of showing you need to strengthen bonds. You guys need to make sure you are on the same page, or else it will not be easy. It's going to be hard. You have so many loose ends. It's going to be hard to have trust, and a long distance relationship needs trust. It needs it. Okay. So, I think that basically answers all of your questions. We are at 34 minutes. So that's pretty much a love reading right there. So I guess I will just let you go then. I hope that you were able to get some answers, some clarity in the cards. And anyone who is still watching, this is a love and relationships reading. It is available in my shop. You can ask up to 3 questions for the reading, and the readings generally last anywhere from 25 to about 30 or 40 minutes. And so, yeah, it just depends on how much message there is and what the cards have to say. And to my client, I wish you all the best. Keep me in the loop. Let me know how it goes when the 2 of you meet. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.